right. So anybody want to give anybody remember what happened last week?
Hell to the yeah. Misty, go.
Worm, hush. So I guess I'm doing the recap because I have notes.
I'm impressed.
Okay, so we finally found our way into Xonthal's tower last week, and it took us a little bit to figure out what some of the symbols were and how the teleportation worked between the different floors in the tower. But we finally figured it out, no thanks to Tiberius. And we arrived on the floor, a floor that looked like it was a barracks, and we ran into some cultists there who were looking for Xander, and Shrump did a really good job of convincing them that we were hired by Master Jordan Paul and to come here and try to find where Xander was. And so we were able to convince them to stay there and wait for us to return, although in the process we managed to find one cultist and just said that we were going to take him for questioning, and we got him to show us the what the rest of the floors were. It gave us a little bit more information on the whole teleportation thing and what was in the lounge. We learned that they had some dragon bones up in the lounge. Magical the bones of magical dragons. So, but
who doesn't have dragon bones? Come on.
I know it wasn't that impressive. So we decided to instead to hit the star symbol, and we teleported to the observatory where we actually ran into Jordan Paul, and the jig was up with that because obviously he knew he didn't call us there, and we had a bit of a battle, which wasn't too bad. He died pretty quickly, and a couple of his buddies, and we did spare one cultist that was kind of gave us some information about the key that Jordan had. It was shaped like an hourglass.
Yeah, he's my friend now. His name is Jerry.
Yes, he's Ray's love slave.
Is he German?
And also in that process,
you call for plumber?
They used her illusionary form to find out what the heck was going on with the maze, and jumped off the balcony. Shrump almost stupidly ran after her. And when she got down there, she found out that the maze, or these hedges, come all the way up to the tower, and there really wasn't much of a maze at all. And these great big purple beasties were down there, and it ended up flying up around the tower. And that our friend told us they were actually protecting it. So after that, I think we took a second and looked at the big telescope thing, but then we decided to head off to the dungeons, which is where we're picking up tonight. I think that was the gist of it.
Well, very nice. All right, so I have everyone here on the map. I've shared it with you guys, and here is your, I guess it would be Jerry, your love slave there. There he is.
Yeah, but we've not implied any sex or anything yet.
Yeah, not yet. He's attached to your hips, so.
Okay.
He's put on a leash.
Do you?
Well, I need to roll a comeliness score on him first. Let's see what's up with that.
Are you gonna put Jerry in a gimp suit with like a chrome neck chain?
+3 gimp suit.
Yeah.
With an initiative zipper.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's not too bad. He's a 14.
I like a tough guy. I don't like someone who's going to get all tied up and sissy.
Well,
I'm the same way. No, I mean I like to get tied up, but I'm a sissy.
Let's say Wormford's the bottom.
so you guys are off to the dungeon. You guys, like I was saying, there's these marble plates are on the wall behind all of the teleporting pads, and on each floor there's different symbols, and you guys had the hourglass key, which you knew that you needed the key to get into the dungeon, and that's where Xander told you that he was going to meet you outside of the tower, or inside the dungeon. So you guys take the little silver hourglass necklace, and you press it up to the marble plate that's on the wall. Well, it activates the portal. The portal activates, and you're taken to the new, basically the dungeon. So let me share this new map with you guys, and I'll place your tokens on the map. So just give me a second. You can only have tokens on one map at a time in Fantasy Grounds. It's not like you can't have them on each map. Okay, so when you guys enter this small square room, it's about 20 foot wide, 30 feet long, and the first thing that you notice right off the bat, you notice pretty much 3 dead cultists that are lying on the northern end of the room.
Do they look like they just kind of fell there, or they laid out any specific order or pattern?
No, not any kind of pattern. There's just 3, what appear to be 3 bodies that are, in cultist regalia, and they're all up against the wall. And upon the wall, you can actually see where one of them, the corpse in the middle, actually has a sliding blood streak going down the wall, where the corpse eventually fell back over onto the ground, face down.
All right, so I'm expecting a trap to be here. Something's flinging cultists all about.
I'm looking if it's fleshly wounds or not.
Okay.
You're gonna walk over there and check it out?
Yeah.
After I just said I think it's a trap that flings people up against the wall. Typical Shrump. All right, buddy.
All right, so Shrump moves over to the other end of the room with no problem at all.
Which one of the tokens is mine?
There you go.
Okay.
And you're approaching the bodies, and you can see that there are weapons on the floor, pretty much scimitars. And you can see that there are some coagulated pools of blood around each of the cultists.
I'm looking also if it's flesh wounds or
Okay.
if it's recently or if they're laying already a day or long.
All right. So you take one of the corpses and you roll them over, and there's also to your right there is a sort of like a oblong hallway that's almost about 10 foot wide. That's kind of veering off in a northeastern pattern, and it goes for about 30 feet or so, and you can see that there's another illuminated room at the end of this 20-30 foot corridor. Now, as for the corpses, Mr. Shrump, you flip the corpse over, and you can tell that through their light armor, their robes and whatnot, they definitely have a couple wounds. Now, you can go ahead and give me a wisdom medicine check. We'll go with that, and we'll just give me the wisdom check. Wisdom medicine check.
Did it came through?
No, I didn't see it. Just drop it in the tower. Make sure when you drop it in the tower, when you hold the rolls up, make sure the little lights come on that tower icon down
Okay,
there.
yeah. I know what I did wrong.
Tighten
I
up
drank the
over
wrong
there,
thing
Lord.
over.
Lord, this ain't the first time you've played on Fantasy Grounds. Tighten up over there, buddy.
I drank the wrong thing.
All right. You're looking things over. Now I will tell you this. You're kind of intrigued by the other corpses as well. Now the first body, you can definitely tell that this corpse is basically stabbed to death. But the other two corpses on the left and the right, the blood kind of trickled over towards them. Those two other corpses that are on the left and right, and when you turn those corpses over, there's no stab wounds, but there's several other types of marks on them. But doesn't look like anything was physical about the wounds.
Strange. Faye, can you maybe look at it if there were magical attacks on the other two bodies? I find it curious that there are no stab wounds or anything.
Lord's an RP monster
no physical
That's good to see.
I think-
attacks done.
I think they froze to death. That's my guess.
Well, you see no visible signs of ice or anything there, Worm Food. Or Tiberius, sorry.
There's a lot of things I want to check out. I'll check out the bodies. I also want to look at this, the teleporter controls here, where we just appeared.
Sure.
Because I like to look back and make sure there's symbols that get us out, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you notice that the only symbol is the symbol that is reflected to as the right triangle.
So the right triangle was the sundial room, according to the map.
Yeah, the sundial, that is
Or the
basically
maze.
outside. Yeah, exactly.
Correct,
In the maze.
yes.
Yeah. That is the only symbol that you actually see on that marble panel.
It might be one of those where you have to start tapping stuff before it appears.
Well, if you tap anything on there, it's going to take you outside.
Absolutely.
Well, like I was saying with the other floors too, you could see indentions of certain, symbols and whatnot. But on this one, all it has is just the right triangle. Just one, and it's like pretty much dead center in the marble plate also.
This is probably
much
to
dead
keep
center.
anyone from in the dungeon getting into the tower, I think.
I agree.
It's a good observation.
Makes
She's the
sense.
best. She's really smart. I don't care what everybody says in chat.
Oh
I don't either.
my.
I'm fending them off right now.
Then I'll come over and look at these bodies now. Anything I can tell about what's happened to them?
You can give me... well, Shrump suggested that he was not sure with the corpse on the left on the right because they didn't have any kind of physical wounds on them.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to give me an arcane check, sure, absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah. You know this. You know these markings too well. These are basically from force darts, basically magic missile, and you can tell that each target was hit by multiple magic missiles, basically. So whoever was casting actually was a pretty intense spellcaster. You could definitely tell that.
It looks like overkill here. Someone, a magic user most likely, has pelted them with quite a bit of missiles.
So,
How long ago?
Probably. You want to give me a wisdom medicine check on that?
I sure do, Dave.
Because you are a cleric, by the way.
I'm a cleric, so I know a little bit about the whole medicine,
About dead
the
people.
medicine game. Yeah,
about
give me a
how-
sec.
No problem. Take your time. I'm in no rush. Wee Willie, what's up? Oh yeah, you can probably tell that between the coagulated blood that's on the ground and how the wound looks, and partial rigor mortis, probably a couple hours.
Couple hours, okay.
Yeah. You'd probably say 2 hours max. It's not like the bodies are stone cold yet or anything.
Let's hear you talk to the dead there, Tiberius.
I could talk to the dead. I'm just kind of looking at my spells right now to see if I want to blow a big slot for. Oh, that didn't sound right. If I want to burn my spell slot
up,
to
Wee
do
Willie?
that.
Well, it could be that we find out exactly what these gentlemen could tell you by looking down the hallway.
Speak with the dead is such a
I
powerful
guess,
spell,
yeah.
I
We don't
love
need
it.
to. We don't need to do that.
But they're not going anywhere, I don't think, so if we need them, we can come back.
I could turn one into a zombie and have them follow us.
That requires a spell slot as well.
Yeah, but that's damn
as long
cool.
As,
You guys are
That's
so
damn
stingy
cool.
with spells now.
Well, I mean, I'm anticipating a big battle coming up, but mostly with Shrump and Widow. So if the enemy's there, then yeah. So I think we've kind of looked through them. We know that they've been killed, and something's killing cultists. So that means somebody else in this place is going to be after us because we're wearing these cultist robes.
Dave, did
So-
Jerry come with?
Oh, he did. Let me get Jerry out for you.
I want to get a slave and name him Ben, and then they can make ice cream for us.
There you go. There's Jerry. Yes, milady.
Jerry,
Yes.
these gentlemen were killed. A magic user and
Whoops.
possibly someone with a blade. Do we know anyone that would do that?
Oh, 1 second. I got a call from my son. I'm so sorry about that. All right. So, Mrs. Vey, you were talking with Jerry, right?
Right.
Yes, milady. What can I do for you?
Well, we noticed these guys have been beat up pretty badly by a magic user.
Ooh.
Is there one so significant that would be here in
Yes.
this dungeon?
Yes, so it seems. Well, there are several. We all have knowledge in magic. Could possibly be, seeing that we were on the trail of Xonthal, it could possibly be him. He was quite a renowned magic user.
Also, Jerry, are you not concerned that you cannot return to the tower from here?
I've never been down here, my lady, so I really can't help you with that.
Oh, look at this, see? There's no symbols to return, only to go back to the maze.
Yes, so it seems.
What
At
are
least-
the rumors of what is in here? I know you all have rumors. You're forbidden to come here, but I'm sure there's talk of what might be in the dungeon.
We are so devout to Tiamat that we do not really venture down into here, and we've never really, between all of our research, we don't have time for, our minds to wander.
Well, whatever it is that's down here, they didn't want us getting into the tower.
Ooh, obviously. It seems like this is going just to the sundial outside of the tower. Ooh.
That's right. It's a right triangle. Don't ever go to the one that's the wrong triangle, because that would be the worst place to be in.
Well, thank you, Morden Kanan, for your observation.
Oh, that's some D&D humor there.
Oh, Jerry has some sass.
You know it. I say increase his bond strength. Well, I think we better start probably going down the hall. How is Jerry going to be hooked up in this lineup? Do you want to send him first, just in case we get attacked? Or do you want him to follow up?
Well, he has manacles, as Shrump has provided, and he's following me, I think. He seems to be very cooperative at the moment.
Alright, perfect.
I'll go
Interrupt Jerry.
first.
You want to go first?
I'm going to go first.
Are you going to do anything special?
I'm going to actually be, watching for traps and listening for nefarious behavior. And that doesn't include Vay and Jerry there.
Alright, so just as you start to get about halfway down this hall, you start to notice, Widow, that there are some blood streaks that are on the floor that kind of start fading out to where you start to stand. And then it looks like the blood streaks kind of go back into the room and up to the north, because you can see, this is a brightly illuminated room that's in front of you. And there's also one more thing that doesn't seem quite right, because you can hear what appears to be like a very light rumbling, maybe rocks, and you also hear what maybe appears to be maybe like a cackling flame.
Do you hear that, guys?
What's a cackling
You don't
flame
hear
sound
it.
like?
Only Widow does, because that's she's in the hall.
Oh.
What's a cackling flame? I'll burn you,
So-
my pretties.
Sort of like maybe a fire in the fireplace that's cackling.
Okay, got it. Got it.
I
Shooting
kind
embers.
of hold up my hand and signal everybody to stop that's behind me. And at that point, I'm going to... Hold on a second, let me see what that's called.
We call it initiative.
Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
He likes you. Just joking. I'm going to
They are
pull
like
my
a married couple, aren't they?
I'm gonna pull my cloak of elvenkind over my head, the hood up, and go into stealth. And I'll roll a stealth roll, and I'm gonna be moving down, and then basically I'm giving them a gesture to stay put.
And I'll listen to that.
Alright, so your cloak of elvenkind, I don't think, yeah, it's let's see, advantage on stealth checks. Alright, so it shifts to camouflage you. So basically you're using, as you pull the the hood up, you're using it to manipulate the cloak and you to basically make yourself look like you're going into the wall, basically.
Correct.
Okay, very cool.
Then
I like that.
and it's do I get an advantage roll on my stealth check for that?
You definitely get advantage on that. Yeah, for sure.
Oh shoot! Let me draw it. Put it in the
That's
tower.
okay. No, don't worry about it. You've already rolled. Don't worry. All right. So as you get to the edge of the hallway, very nicely done with the stealth check.
I'm gonna
This
come up to this
mhm.
point here, and then I'm pressing myself against the wall,
Okay. So
and
you can
I'm
see
gonna
that there's
peer
a table.
into that room.
Yeah, in the northern part of the room, you can see that there's a table. Now, as you kind of as you're pressing yourself up against that wall, and you're peering around the corner, you can see that there are several tables, and a fire elemental flanked by 2 earth elementals, which are really large. And these are the sounds that you're hearing, the stone that's kind of grinding against one another, and the flame. The flame is just kind of twirling there. And
But is the wall pressing back?
the wall is kind of nudging her back, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Gonna
All right.
hey, how you doing? You come to this wall often? No, I'm just kidding.
So they do not. They do not see me then, correct?
No, they do not even
Okay.
acknowledge you're there, and you know you can see that the earth elementals are made up of a bunch of different rocks, and it's sort of like animated, so all of the rocks are kind of free floating to form this humanoid rock creature, and the flame is just kind of sitting there twirling around, and you know throwing embers and sparks out.
Okay. And do I hear anything else, like possibly coming from the north? I'm not going to move, but I just
No. Now, the only thing that you know, it's good that you asked that, because the blood streaks, where the blood streaks that you're actually standing in, they are very heavy blood streaks trailing to the north, to the northern tunnel. There's another corridor that and it looks like there's some stairs going up also. But once you leave this room, it looks like it goes into a very dark chamber.
Okay. I'm going to very carefully turn around, make my way back down here. As I'm walking by these guys, I'm sure they can, I'm going to kind of make myself known as I'm walking past them and point them back into the other room so that I can tell them what I've seen.
Okay.
Okay, because I don't want to have a conversation out in the middle of the hallway.
Yeah, as you're at the corner, you look back. Hey guys, there's 3 elementals in this room.
Exactly. And so I take my hood down and become completely visible, and I look at the guys in a very hushed tone.
Do you yell surprise?
No, I don't, dummy.
That would have been awesome.
We've got a problem.
What's the problem, Widow?
There are 3 large elementals directly ahead. 2 earth elementals, 1 fire elemental.
What are they doing?
They're just standing there, but I strongly suspect that if we try to move past them, they're not gonna allow that. So
they're just standing there. What are they guarding? Something? Why do elementals stand around?
Are they speaking?
No, I didn't hear them say anything. Nothing is being said. They're just noises from them, the rocks and stuff moving around, and the flames going. I mean, there's some tables in there.
What's on the tables?
I didn't see anything. I didn't get close enough to to really identify what's on the tables, but
yeah, the table. I'll just get. There's 4 chairs that are around the table, and on the southern portion of the room there are a bunch of bookshelves that basically line the walls, and there are actually quite a few books, and there's papers on the table, books on the table, all scattered about. It doesn't look like there's any kind of organization, and there's like a box on the table also that was probably about the size of a shoebox. And I should have told you this stuff a couple minutes ago, but we were so into giving you the descriptions of everything else. So
no worries. So we have the advantage. I don't think we're going to be able to sneak past these guys. I mean, what do you guys want to do?
Well, what do you know about elementals?
Well, speaking of that, I will let Vey. Vey could possibly know some information about elementals, so because of the whole summoning aspect of them. So if you want to give me an arcane check, Vey, I can possibly give you some information. Yeah, the only thing, let's see, with that, not a bad check. You know that some of these elementals can be summoned, or they could be natural elements from the plane that they basically derive from.
Alright, you guys. These could be summoned. So there might have to be a summoner or a conjurer of sorts that we may have to deal with as well.
So can they be unsummoned?
And they can, yes. But generally, possibly on the death of the caster.
What about, can they see people that are stealthed? Because maybe if we could